How does Real Madrid, who defeated Liverpool across 2 legs in the Champions League, struggle against Barcelona after Liverpool defeated Manchester United 7-0 already this season? You know, that's football. And of course, we're here to review all of its action from the weekend, from the FA Cup to the Bundesliga to the Serie A, even to the Ligue 1 and the Premier League title race right here on this channel. Yes, this is the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. My name is Ayomide Shotubo. And yes, let's start with the El Clasico. Going into the game, it's been 5 years since either or both sides, Barcelona or Real Madrid, enter into the Clasico at this stage of the season with a 9-point gap. Barcelona had that 9-point gap, but now they stretched it to 12 points after they defeated Real Madrid at the Spotify Camp Nou Stadium. And it's almost impossible at this stage of the season to come back. Talking about Real Madrid, it's almost impossible. I do not see it happening. And of course, we have to move away from the La Liga and tell you about action in the Italian Serie A. Victor Osimhen, 21 goals in 23 Serie A games already, and that was in the 4-0 win away from home at Torino. Of course, Kvaratskhelia also getting into the score sheet, and also there was Tanguy Ndombele. Remember him from Tottenham Hotspur? He also got a goal as well, and that establishes a 19-point gap for Napoli at the top of Serie A, and that's another title race that is not a conversation anymore. Title in the bag for Napoli, if you ask me. But then Inter Milan, they lost to Juventus. Juventus, by the way, consider that if not for their points deduction, at least 15 points, they will be leading Lazio in second now by 4 points. And it's quite interesting. They are winning some games. They are managing to win, to get points. But then some games appear to be a stumbling block for Max Allegri's side. But then a question I'll throw to you. Do answer in the comment section. Do you think Juventus can still make it in? They are 10 points behind the top 4 places. And they are trying as much as possible. They've got 12 more games to go in the Serie A season to do that. That's a tall order, but then it remains to be seen how they'll get it done. Things are looking really dicey for Christophe Galtier as PSG have lost their 7th game of 2023, and the most recent one coming against Rennes. Mbappe in the game, Messi in the game, but then they couldn't even get a goal. It ended 2-0, a home defeat, and there already calls for Christophe Galtier to leave Paris Saint-Germain. They are calling for his sack right there in France. But then it's a dicey situation because many managers have come and gone at Paris Saint-Germain. Different styles, different philosophies, but it hasn't just worked up until this point. They want to win the Champions League. They are no longer in the Champions League, by the way. And now, winning the league doesn't even look satisfactory anymore. And they have a decent 7-point lead at the top of the Ligue 1, but the objective is to win the Champions League. But then you begin to wonder for the owners who reportedly are trying to buy Manchester United, talking about the Qatari. You wonder if the Paris Saint-Germain project is nearing its expiry date. But then let's see how it goes for them. They're still leading at the top of the Ligue 1, and we'll see how it pans out. I expect them to win the league, but the objective was to win the Champions League and the league. And let's move to England, yes, where things are looking very much interesting as always. Arsenal winning against Crystal Palace, who are managerless and have not also won a game in 2023, by the way. They've not won a game. And, of course, Patrick Vieira was sacked on Friday morning, just going into the weekend. And, well, what do you expect? Arsenal chasing the title. The sacking of Patrick Vieira came as a real shock because, well, maybe they are somewhat in the relegation conversation as well. But it's a surprise. I don't know. But we're going to see how it ends for them. Their teams are looking in more dangerous positions to be relegated. I think they should have stuck with Patrick Vieira, but Arsenal thumping them, probably they deserved it. Maybe you tell me that in the comment section. Not for me to tell. But then let's move also. Things were pretty interesting in the FA Cup. Let's start by telling you about Erling Haaland scoring right, front, back, left, center for Manchester City against Burnley, who had a coach in person of Vincent Kompany doing his homecoming right there at the Ethiad Stadium. A humbling one. It is 6-0. I begin to wonder now. People are talking about how much Burnley have improved as a team, and how Vincent Kompany has brought some fantastic piece of football to Burnley, when we're used to the Shondai style where you just throw balls up in the air, long balls and the chase. But then what matters in football is winning, all right? And a 6-0 loss is not decent. No matter the style of football, no matter how modern in quote, or how interesting, how good to the eye it seems, Burnley were beaten 6-0. Let that sink. And at any level in football, for me, that's not acceptable. It only means they did not put up a good account of themselves. It was all too easy for City. Everything they touched turned to gold, and of course it's looking good for them. They are looking more cohesive, as a team. And I think Arsenal, despite their current 8-point lead, when title race hostilities resume for Arsenal and Manchester City, Arsenal got to watch their back. Both sides have got some very interesting matches at the end of this season. Manchester United versus Fulham. And Fulham, of course, Manchester United were given a run for their money by Fulham, trust me. But the defining moment of that game was when Willian decided to handle the ball with his hand to protect his team's lead, and that was costly in the end. It resulted to his sending off. It resulted to Mitrovic sending off for indiscipline, dissent against a referee, and also Marco Silva for interfering in the VAR process, trying to tell the central referee not to check the handball, which was a clear handball, by the way, by every means, by every stretch of the imagination. That is handball. It was interesting. Man United are now in the FA Cup semi-final. What they are doing is excellent, trust me, because they are the only team to have played the most games. That game yesterday was the 45th game of their season, and they are still in all fronts. Maybe not in the Premier League title race anymore, but they are still in the conversation for the Europa League, and they are still in the conversation for the FA Cup. And who says they can't win it? It's football, anything can happen. They already won a title this season. They're just about the only team in England this season that does know what it means to lift silverware. So you're not putting it behind them, you're not putting it past them, and you're not putting it, maybe you're not going to say never for Manchester United. And anyways, that's how we're going to end, of course, this episode. You can hit the subscribe button to join this community, and also tap this notification bells to get our latest videos. My name is RealMadrid. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Of course, I'll be open to see your comments in the comment section. This is the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. See you next time.